Yes, yes, what up? It's Base Boxing Basement Triple B. Make sure you like to keep the haters away. So it happened. What happened? Well, Francis Ngannou is now world ranked. Francis Ngannou is world ranked by the WBC. It's just been announced, right? It's just been announced. They haven't updated their website, right? But they have stated it on their Twitter, and that means you can fight for the title, right? A guy with one pro fight and 0 wins can fight for the pro title. Now, the first thing to think is, so who are they going to bump out of this top 10 to fit in Ngannou? Because they haven't updated their website. You look through it, you think, well, who's at the bottom? Parker's number 10? Nah, I don't think so. He's coming off a win. He has been linked with Deontay Wilder. Martin Bakole, possibly. Why? Well, because even though he's come off a win, but because he's with a smaller manager, he could be victimized. This is what they do. If you're not linked to someone big, they'll victimize you. Nah, it's got to be Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's number 8, right? Surely it's him, man. Yeah, he's not fought for almost a year. There's a drug issue. Again, we don't know what's going on there. I assume Dillian Whyte is preparing to fight the drug ban or the drug positive test, whatever it is, right? I don't think he's been banned yet, has he? Regardless, so it would be easy to push out Dillian Whyte. So it's got to be him. So the others will move up. Parker will be 9, Bakole will be 8, and Francis Ngannou will enter at number 10, man. And it's kind of nuts, really. People could be outraged. I can't believe Ngannou is ranked in the WBC top 10, even though he's only had one fight and he lost it. Well, firstly, plenty of people will justify it. Oh, well, actually, we thought Ngannou won against the WBC world champion. But it's more than that, huh? It's more than that. Boxing, people often look through the old times through rose-tinted spectacles when you had 8 champions and one world champion, and that was great, but it was still twisted, man. It was still twisted. Yeah. I mean, for example, Pete Rademacher, right? Pete Rademacher won an Olympic gold medal, I think 56, in the days when there's just one title, and he fought Floyd Patterson in his first pro fight. He dropped Patterson, but Patterson was chinny, and then he got stopped. So it's not the first time to see something weird, right? Right? According to BoxRec, so BoxRec does its ratings through an algorithm, and it's not perfect, right? It ends up with some strange listings, but it's not bad, right? And BoxRec has Ngannou at number 505 out of over 1,000 heavyweights, right? Not number 10, number 505. Although he is the number 1 Cameroonian heavyweight, 1 spot ahead of number 2 Wapet Rudal Mbionkyo, who has had 2 fights, 2 losses, both by KO. Well, I thought he was being ranked as French now these days, even though his origin is Cameroon. But BoxRec have him as a Cameroonian fighter, regardless. It's all part of that clergy thing anyway, right? Now, I've never known anyone either go up in the rankings or enter because they've lost. I think it's happened where someone has held their ranking because they lost a fight and they clearly didn't lose it. I think maybe even Kovalev, and he stayed in the rankings. I don't know, but I've never heard of a guy enter the top 10 on a 0-1 record after 1 pro fight, right? And regardless whether you say, Ngannou was robbed, well, the consensus is that Tyson edged it. Yeah, I didn't think if Tyson had won, if Ngannou had won, or it'd been a draw, I wouldn't have minded. It was that close. And boxing is a bit flawed the way that it's judged, right? Because it's judged on rounds. But you either win a round or you lose a round. Okay, if you knock the guy down, it's a 10-8 round. If you win, it's a 10-9 round. But if you beat someone up, but you don't drop them, it's a 10-9 round. But if you edge someone out by one more jab, it's still a 10-9 round. It's very flawed boxing scoring. Yeah, it should, especially when you got 10 points, you should be able to have more creativity and diversity in your scores. Like 10-9 if it's a close round, 10-8 if one guy wins it clearly, 10-7 if there's a knockdown, and blah blah blah. There are much more creative ways and more accurate ways to judge a boxing fight. But under the current boxing rules, you could argue that Tyson won because he won more of the rounds, including the Ngannou knockdown. Even if intuitively, as I did, you kind of felt that Ngannou might have won the round because he scored the hurt. And then there's also the fact that he was the underdog, and yet he did so well. But regardless, Ngannou should not suddenly be ranked in the top 10 on the basis of one fight stroke exhibition that he didn't technically win. He didn't technically win. So what does it mean? Well, it means a lot of money for the WBC, I guess, because they could sanction Fury vs Ngannou for the title and get a nice slice of the pie. They get every world title fight that's sanctioned. I think they make 3% plus a whole load of other expenses on it. Yeah, for just sitting there and giving them a rubbish green plastic belt, right? And if Tyson, I don't think they'd strip Tyson, right? They could order a rematch. Who knows? But in one way or another, they could put, we're gonna have Ngannou v someone else for some other made-up title, and we'll take a cut of that pie as well. We want a lot of cuts of a lot of pies, WBC. And they can say, and they can justify it, not that they care, right? We thought Ngannou should have won. So that's why he's ranked at number 10. He was fighting the lineal WBC heavyweight champion. It's a joke, right? It is a joke. But as I said, for boxing, it's just not that outrageous. I was told this by someone in the pub, and they said, Ngannou's now ranked by the WBC. I said, come on, man, that's impossible. And they said, no, he's ranked in the top 10. I thought he might be ranked in the top 30, top 10. And then I checked it. I'm like, blood clot, you're correct. You're correct. And this just opens it up for more money for the WBC, right? More corruption. But I don't care anymore. I'm beyond caring anymore. Boxing's such a joke anyway. It's the crack hole of professional sports. And that's saying something because they're all corrupt. But yeah, Francis Ngannou is now the number 10 boxer in the world, according to the World Boxing Council. Peace in the Middle East.